So we are here to learn IT, correct? That is information technology. Now, just a basic hint of your exams and the portion. We have 4 lessons, theoretical 4 lessons for this year. Okay. In the third lesson, we'll be learning HTML and JavaScript. Second lesson talks about the database, and first lesson is the introductory part of information technology and computers. Okay. Last one is the cyber law related to cyber crimes. Now, these 4 lessons will be distributed as 2 lessons in first sem and 2 lessons in second sem. Okay. Now, your unit test will be of 25 marks and your semester will be of 50 marks. Your final exam will be of 100 marks, considering 80 theory and 20 practicals. That practical will be from the list of these 6 SOPs. Okay. Now, the first lesson, the name of the lesson is Basics of Information Technology. What are we going to learn in this lesson? The definition of IT and IC. Okay, these are 2 different concepts, and what are the definition we'll be studying in this. Next is to understand concepts like data and information. Okay, what is data and what is information? We'll be understanding that. We'll be learning various concepts under IT. What are the different concepts? We'll be learning that. Different types of operating systems with its features and uses. Okay, operating systems for mobiles are different and operating systems for PCs are different, right? Then architecture of computer system, then units of memory. What are the units of memory? How the memory is stored in the hard disk, correct? Concepts related to internet and network and its types. Recent trends, IT-enabled services and careers in IT. These are the things which we'll be learning in this chapter. So without wasting any time, we'll start with 1.1, that is Introduction of IT, Information Technology. Information technology has great influence on all aspects of life, correct? If you just see a small boy or a baby also needs the mobile in their hands while eating, then teenagers need it, school-going students need it. So the elder ones also like to go handling the mobiles, correct? So any aspect if you take of life, you require any other way you are using IT there, correct? Okay. Almost all workplaces and living environments are being computerized, and the use of information technology is being enhanced. So wherever in every place, workplace or in any environment, we are used to, accustomed to being computerized, correct? If I say computerized, that doesn't mean that I don't have a computer at home and I don't know. Your mobile also comes in the digital world, correct? Now, what are the definitions of IT? IT, information technology, encompasses all the technologies. What it has? IT has all the technologies that we use. Why we use those technologies? In order to create, collect, process, protect, and store information. Okay? And these are the things which we require the most. Okay? What are the things what you need to remember is create. We are using IT or we are using technologies to create something, to create your PPT, to create your Excel. I just request everyone to, okay. Okay. So creating information, collecting information, processing the information, protecting and storing the information. Okay. So I am creating something. For creating something, I need to collect. That I will be collecting the data what I require, then I'll be processing it. After processing, I create something. After creation, I need to protect and store that information. Correct? So all these things I require technology for doing these things. For doing the needful, I require the technologies. And that refers to who is helping me to create, collect, process, protect, and store information? There are hardware and software. Where I'll be storing the information? I can store the information either in my pen drive, in my hard disk, correct? So those are hardware. But how can I collect and process? That is software. Okay, and I can share the information that comes under computer network. If my computer is in network, obviously I can share my data with the other methods. Correct? So IT is the technology wherein we use it for creating, collecting, processing, protecting, and storing the information. Okay. Now, what is ICT? ICT, information and communication technology. Okay, it is a vast one wherein it has communication technologies also. This concept involves transfer and use of all kinds of information because we are using it to communicate. IT is the foundation of economy and a driving force of social changes in the 21st century. Right? If I couldn't have shared my information, okay, then it was just with me. But if I am increasing that, I'm sharing my information. Nowadays, you can see many different YouTube channels. Correct? So why are these? Because everyone wants to convey the information what they have. Okay, what they like, what they can do, all these things they want to convey. And because of that, what happens is economy increases. Correct? It's a small way to get the economy or get the money. Correct? That gives me the force for social changes in 21st century. Okay, ICT is a foundation. Just remember this. Distance is no longer an issue when it comes to as accessing information. So distance doesn't matter here. I can sit here and I can learn or get the degree from Oxford University, right? I can do that because distance is no longer an issue. For example, work from home, right? I am working for the company which is in Pune, but I am at home and working. So there's no distance issue. Distance learning. Yes, I can learn the different courses which are not there in my area, but which are there abroad. E-banking, right? I can just sit at home and do my banking work. I can just sit at home and do my governance work. Are now possible from any place with an internet connection and a computing device, correct? What I require is internet connection and a computing device. It can be your mobile, it can be your laptop, it can be your tablet. From anywhere you can access. Let's first perceive two important concepts. What are the two important concepts? Data and information. Now, many people will say data is same and information is same. No, these are similar to each other, but they have difference. It is being said that the terms data and information are interchangeable and means the same thing, right? I can interchange. It has been said that I can interchange the data because it is same if we just think of it. However, they are not same and there is a difference between the two words. There is a whole lot of difference between these two words. Data can be any character, text, word, number, or raw facts. So what is the definition of data? It's been given here. What are data? Data are characters. Okay. Whatever I have in my mind, I have just written down. Okay. I thought these words are good words. I can use it in my composition. So what I did, I just wrote those words randomly anywhere on a paper, right? So it is just a data. It is just a raw facts. But I can't understand. There is no sentence. There is no grammar for it. I just have randomly written down the words. Okay, that kind of raw material, what is there in my mind and what I have put it on the paper is data. Okay, data can be any character or a text or word or number or raw facts. However, information is data formatted in a manner that allows it to be utilized by human beings in some significant way. Okay, data is only the raw facts, only the words which I felt like are good, but it is not giving me the meaningful information, right? But if I process it, if I format it, and if I frame it in a proper sentences, then what it will be utilized by human beings, right? So I can use that, I can write a composition, I can write a letter, I can write anything with those keywords. For explanation, here just the examples are given, data example and information example. Okay, first we'll see here Umber 1234 XYZ MG Road, Calcutta 91114848084. Okay, by looking at these two lines, I just can understand Calcutta. If I see MG Road, if I see, I can understand, yeah, it's an address, right? It's an address, but I can't get the information what exactly this numbers are, what is 1234, what is XYZ. I am not able to understand this, correct? So if I process it, if I format it, if I change the words here and there, then what will happen? The example of information is here, correct? XYZ I have written first, then 1234 I have written here, then MG Road number 84084 Calcutta, this, right? So this data is not giving me the proper information, but information is giving me the proper idea, correct? I need to know, yes, XYZ is the name and this is the room number, then this is the road and so on. But data is not giving me a clear idea, correct? The above example, the data appears to be a set of random words and numbers. However, when that data is interpreted, organized and formatted, one can tell that it is contact information of a person named as XYZ, correct? Okay, so after I format it, after I organize it properly, then I can understand, then it is understood. Okay, I get a clear idea of information. Okay, so there is a question in your exam, difference between data and information. You should be able to give either 2 points. 1 point will be the definition of data, the other point will be information, and second point will be examples. What is the need of information? Information is required to take short-term and long-term decisions, and also to make strategic decisions in an organization. Okay, now if I want to do a survey, okay, I want to open a shop. Okay, I want to open a shop, and that shop I want to open for a cold drink. So I need to do a survey which cold drink is being drunk by the youngsters, or which is in a move, correct? Which many people like. So I need to do a survey out of it. What did it? I just created a questionnaire and I circulated it overall. Fine. So people, what they did, they just wrote their answers on the paper itself on that particular questionnaire. They have answered it, and I have collected all the information. Okay. Now, then if I get the clear idea, what, how many are there for Pepsi, how many are there for Coca-Cola, how many there are for Sting, right? So with the help of this data, I can understand, or I can make a decision whether it is good or bad. I should go for Pepsi, Coca-Cola or Sting, right? So because of the information, what the process data I got, my questionnaires are data, raw facts. But when I process it, when I calculated it, then I got the information. And why you require information? Because with the help of that information only, I can take certain decisions. I can come up with some strategic decisions, right? If yes, I got a call from a wholesaler. Yes, we can give you the Sting. So I can come on with the decisions, strategic decisions. How can I improve my sales? How can I come up with my profit, right? How can I get this? With the help of information itself. It may be short-term decisions or it may be long-term decisions. I can take those with the help of information itself. Since we live in the information age, information technology has become a part of our everyday life. Correct? Whatever is the information, it's not only just school going students and college going students are searching for the information. No, it may be a lady sitting at home. Okay, if she wants to search something, she can. Our elder ones, our grandmother, grandparents, they also can search for certain information what they want, right? So we are living in the information age wherein the information is flowing around. with the help of internet. Now, various concepts under IT. What are the various concepts under IT? Before getting started, let us learn some of the important concepts used under information technology. First concept is computer. Now, what is computer? In detail, it has been given here. The word computer is derived from a Latin word, computare. Okay, computare is a Latin word which means to calculate, to count, to sum up, or to think together. Okay, these are the process what this device does: calculate, count, sum up, think, right? So because of these keywords, the Latin word was computare, and with the help of this Latin word, the computer word has come. An electronic device which accepts input from the user, process it according to the instructions given to it, and gives required result in the form of output is a computer. Now, if I say just define a computer, what is a computer? Many students will say it is used for calculating, it is used for programming, right? It is used for painting, it is used for writing some documents, correct? But what exactly the process is happening in a computer? So we have input unit, central processing unit, and output unit, correct? So what the exact work done by computer is, it is accepting something from the user. User has to give the instructions. User has to give certain input, and then that input is processed according to the instructions, right? First, I'll say I want to calculate maths. Then I'll say, I want to go for a program. Then I'll say I want to see a video. I want to hear some songs, correct? So all this, I am giving the instructions, and that device is processing according to the instructions given. Okay. And then later on, I get the output from the processing, right? So these three work: taking the input, processing it, and giving the output is done by a computer. Okay. Can you see a photo given here? I have a computer and different devices which works with the computer. Computer system. A computer can process data, images, audio, video, and graphics. It's not only dealing with calculating and programming, no. It also deals with processing of data. I can go for Photoshop, images. I can go for audio recording and editing. I can even do video, take a video and edit it, right? And I can deal with all the graphics, VFX, and all those animation things also I can do with the computer. A computer performs 5 major computer operations or functions irrespective of their size and name. Okay, what are the 5 major operations of a computer are: first, it accepts data and instructions by way of input. It is accepting. First thing what it is doing, it is accepting. Second, it is storing the data, whatever he has got. Correct? Third is it can process data as required by the user. What it does, whatever, why the data is being given by the user? Because he needs something to be done with that data, right? So some process has to be done. First is it is accepting the data. Second, storing it. Third, processing the data as required. Fourth, gives the result in the form of output. And fifth, it controls all operations inside a computer, right? What do you mean by controls all operation is accepting the data is an operation, storing the data is operation, processing the data is operation, giving it as an output is also an operation. So there is a control system which controls all these 5 major operations or performances done by a computer. A question can come in your exam stating write the 5 major computer operations. Okay, so you need to write these 5 points. Next is architecture of computer. A computer architecture is the specification dealing of how a set of software and hardware technology standards interact to form a computer system, right? What is the architecture? Architecture is the working model of a particular thing. You can't just, it's not just computer. You can take any other thing, right? Any other machine you can say. So architecture is how it is being built up, how is it, what are the different parts of it, okay, that are helping him to work. So here there are two parts, software and hardware. A combination of this is interacting, the interaction between these two gives me a computer system. I can't say it's just a software which is working on, or just a hardware it is working. No, it is a interaction between a set of software and the hardware technologies. Okay. In short, computer architecture refers to how a computer system is designed and then how it works. Correct? As I told you, the working model, how it works and what are the different parts, that is what the architecture of computer. Now, if here you can see, this is a monitor, speaker, microphone, keyboard, CD, DVDs. Yes, this also we use. CD, DVD drive also we use. System unit, printer, hard drive, flash memory, right? Or USB port, mouse. These are the different and many more devices. What you can use it with the computer. Okay, you have OMR, you have barcode, you have OCR, right? So many different machines are there, many different devices are there which you can use it as a computer system peripherals. Every computer system has the following three basic components. Which are the three basic components? As I earlier told you, input unit, central processing unit, and output unit. These are the three units by which computer works. Okay. First, we come on to input unit. This unit helps users to enter data and commands into a computer system, right? I am entering. How can I enter into the computer? With the help of keyboard and mouse. Data can be in the form of number, words, actions, or commands, right? Here also I am giving something. So if I am clicking from the mouse, that is also a kind of data, what it is being given to the instruction, what it is being given to the computer, right? So I am giving certain input signals to the computer stating single click or double click or scrolling. I can do that. The main function of the input devices is to direct commands and data to a computer, right? What is the signal? Where is the signals going? If I am pressing A, I press A, but from the keyboard, the signals are going into the computer, right? If I am clicking or I'm right clicking, the signals are passed on in the computer. So we can call it this as input devices. Computer then uses its CPU to process data and process the output. Okay. For example, a keyboard is an input device that enters numbers and characters. From a keyboard, I am entering certain numbers and characters. Similarly, even a mouse can be an input device for entering directions and commands. Correct? Where I want to go, I want to scroll up, I want to scroll down. Right? So I am giving certain directions with the mouse. I'm not using my keyboard. Correct? So this is also one kind of input device. Other examples include barcode reader, magnetic ink character, MICR, optical character reader, OCR, and many more. Okay, just Google search for these three devices and let me know tomorrow. Okay. Another examples of input devices is touchscreen. Yes, that is also a major input device, a big input device, what we can say, is been used all over, right? Touch screens, because we are touching and giving the instructions. If I am using my mobile phones, I just want to open certain apps. I'm not giving any instructions with a keyboard or a mouse, but I'm just touching that particular area. Correct? With that touch, my input instructions are being given to the operating system. Users can simply touch these screens without using any other device to enter commands. Correct? I'm not having any other device for that. I can just touch the screen and I can get the commands. From smartphones to ATM machines, these input devices are becoming very popular nowadays, right? Your ATM machines are also touch screens. Correct? You give the command just by touching and you get the output. Now, second point is central processing unit. After receiving data and commands from the user, a computer system has to process. Okay, I have given certain input. I have typed certain characters. I have typed some things, right? So there are certain processing has to be taken place. It according a computer system has to process it according to the instructions provided. Okay, what instructions I'm giving, how I want those numbers to be added up or divide or multiplied, what instruction I have. Okay, those instructions also should be provided. Here it has to rely on a component called as CPU. What is CPU? Central Processing Unit. The CPU further uses three important elements. This is just the block diagram of a CPU. Right here, I have an input device and I have output device. The center part is your CPU. Now I have ALU, CU and memory. Now what is ALU? ALU stands for Arithmetic and Logic Unit. This part of CPU performs arithmetic operations. It does mathematical calculations like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, etc. Further, it can even perform logical functions like comparison of data. Fine. So ALU, arithmetic operations also it does, and logic operations also it does. Okay, this is the internal view of the CPU. Okay, there is a motherboard, there is a fan, there are the slots, RAM, ROM, all these things are there on the motherboard. Next is control unit. This unit is the backbone of computer. It is responsible for coordinating tasks, okay, between all components of a computer system. Okay, so control unit is controlling the processes from taking it from the input unit, giving it to the ALU, calculating it, and then getting back the answer and putting it on the output unit. Okay, the control unit collects data from input unit and sends it to the processing unit depending on its nature. What it wants to do, it wants to download it, it wants to play it, what it wants to do, right? So that processing has to be done, and dealing with that, it will be giving me the control will be passed on to the particular system, right? If I want to print something, so the control has to be passed on to a printer, because the printer will give me a paper, right? Printed paper. If I want to save something, so the signals has to be passed on to the memory unit for storing. So control unit is the one who is controlling and passing on the signals. Next is memory unit. Once a user enters data using input devices, the computer system stores this data in its memory unit. This data will now remain here until other components of CPU process it, right? Unless and until we want that data to be stored somewhere in our hard disk, in our D drive, C drive, or in my pen drive, unless and until that, it will be saved in the memory unit, in the temporary unit. The memory unit uses a set of pre-programmed instructions to further transmit this data to other parts of the CPU. Right? What it has been doing, it is pre-programmed. Memory unit is programmed until it gets certain instruction. Either it has to be uh, copy and pasted it on a PPT or in Excel, or it has to be given a printout. Depending on that, till that time, it is stored in the memory unit. Okay. There are different types of memory, two main types of memory unit. First is primary memory and second is secondary memory. Primary memory is internal memory of the computer, which is also known as main memory. Primary memory holds the data and instructions on which computer is currently working. Okay, if I am working on this internet, I'm working on in my drive. So it is currently holding these signals, holding these instructions. Okay, it is primary memory. It is main memory. Here, types of primary memory. Primary memory is generally of two types, RAM and ROM. Okay, you might have heard RAM and ROM in your school days, because there also we had in 6th, 7th standard different types of memories. So first is RAM and second is ROM. RAM, full form of RAM is random access memory, and ROM is read-only memory. RAM, it stands for random access memory. I can access the memory randomly. RAM is also known as read or write memory. Okay, I can read also and I can write also from this memory. It is generally referred to as main memory of the computer system, RAM. In the primary memory, RAM is the main memory. It is a temporary memory. It is main memory, but it is a temporary memory because if the power supply is cut down, whatever information is stored in RAM will be deleted. Okay, the information stored in this memory is lost as the power supply of the computer is switched off. If by mistake lights went off, right? So if I am writing or I'm typing something, I'm doing some work, but I haven't stored it, I haven't saved it, then that work will be lost because it was just in my RAM memory. I did not store it, I did not save it properly. Correct? So that is my temporary memory. RAM is also called as volatile memory, okay, because it can be lost. The data can be temporarily stored and it can be lost. But read-only memory is the opposite one. Okay, I can just read from this memory. I can't write anything in this memory. ROM is the permanent type of memory. It is a main memory, but permanent type. I can't do anything with the ROM. The content is not lost when the power supply is switched off. The content remains same because the contents are permanent. As for RAM, it was temporary. For ROM, it is permanent. Content of ROM is decided by the computer manufacturer and permanently stored at the time of manufacturing. Very important point, right? A computer manufacturer doesn't want any user to come and make certain changes. Okay, now what are these instructions? These instructions or these read-only RAM, what it has is your operating system, is your BIOS system. Okay, the instructions dealing with all the devices which are connected. Keyboard has to be connected to the monitor, and there are certain programs, there are certain instructions which are working. Mouse is attached to a computer. There are certain instructions which a CPU has to go for, right? When I start my CPU, when I start my computer, first thing it goes and checks all the system, right? Whether the memory is there or antivirus is there, virus is there, or certain devices are being attached. If I'm not attaching my speaker and I am doing something, so I'll get a message, speakers are not attached, right? So how that happens? That happens because of ROM. Okay, so the manufacturer itself decides what instructions are to be given in ROM. ROM cannot be overwritten by the computer. It is also called as non-volatile memory. Here it was volatile, here it is non-volatile. It can't be overwritten, but here it can be overwritten again and again. Okay. Secondary memory. Secondary memory is an external memory of the computer. It is used to store huge amount of different programs and information. Examples are magnetic or hard disk, magnetic tapes, pen drives, flash memory, CD, DVD, SSD, etc. So these all are secondary memory. Okay, and last unit is output unit. The third and final component of a computer system is the output unit. After processing of data, it is converted into a format which human can understand. Correct? Either I can see it on the monitor as a display, or I can get the output on the print. Correct? So that is a understandable way. After conversion, the output unit displays this data to the user. Right? Examples of output devices include monitor, screens, printers, and speakers are also termed as output units. Thus, output units basically reproduce the data formatted by the computer for users' benefit. This is very, very important. It is used for users' benefit. Okay. Now, this is do it yourself. Try to find out names of the modern input devices used in shops and malls. Right. Next is the unit of memory. Just a small concept. After this, I'll I can end the meeting. Computer storage and memory is often measured in megabytes, gigabytes. Correct? We often say it as MB and GB. Let's understand the evolution of memory. The first is bit. How is the data stored in the computer? Is in the form of bit. What is bit? It is a binary digit that holds only 1 and 0. Only two values it holds. 0 and 1. 0 is 1 bit, 1 is 1 bit. Okay, on off type of. Okay, so bit is just one value. Nibble, if I combine 4 bits, okay, 4 values, 0, 0, 1, 1. For example, here, 1, 0, 1, 1. These are the 4 bits. I can call it as a nibble. When I combine 8 bits, for example, it's here. 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, right? A combination of 8 bits, then I call it as a byte. Measurement of a memory. Bit is a single binary digit. 1 byte becomes 8 bits. 1 kilobyte, 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte, 1024 kilobytes. 1 gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, and exabyte, right? This is the largest one, that is exabyte. It comes by 1024 petabytes. Okay, do remember this memory units. Fine. Any other question you have? You can ask, okay, in the next meeting. Tomorrow, I can schedule another meeting. Yes, any other doubts? No? Okay, revise whatever I have got.